Asia's financial leaders arrive in Hanoi this week for a summit in which sustaining the region's remarkable economic rise will dominate the agenda. But delegates gather for the Asian Development Bank's annual meeting amid troubling signs for the region's outlook. Since the financial crisis, Asia has rebounded with unprecedented vigor. But the region is beginning to show the strain of breakneck growth as economies overheat and as inflation casts its shadow. Nowhere is this as apparent as in Vietnam, which is being forced, some say too late, to undertake fiscal and monetary tightening until prices stabilize. It's not just Vietnam that's facing this challenge. Authorities across the region are being forced to shift gears in an attempt to keep a lid on prices. Overheating economies have also been hit by sharply rising food and oil prices, which could threaten the region's social stability as millions are pushed into poverty.
How to contain inflationary pressures in their economies, I think that is a fairly big challenge, probably the most important challenge faced by many countries in the region.
But the steps governments take to battle this scourge will come at the expense of growth. China is also showing signs of becoming a victim of its own success. It might be the country that helped pull the Asian and global economies back from the abyss following the global crisis. But it could send the world hurtling back again if its growth falters. A slowdown in Asia is inevitable at some point, as the region's economies reach the limits of their output and as policymakers apply the brakes. Whether that slowdown is next year or beyond, right now it's a certainty that the world's financial markets are hardly bargaining for. But when it comes, it will mean vast changes in Asia's economic landscape that will impact 3.5 billion people who've come to expect the fruits of high growth. The challenge facing policymakers is how to find ways to sustain Asia's economic miracle through new sources of output. That will mean weaning themselves off exports to the crippled economies of the West. What's clear is that the world's economic future depends on it. Taimur Ahmed, Emerging Markets, Hanoi.